Kenya, a nation of 37 million people stretching from the Indian Ocean to the Great Rift Valley. A nation that is currently experiencing an economic boom, yet poverty remains endemic. As a rapidly increasing population vies for scarce land resources, some have begun to see themselves not as Kenyans, but as tribal members, divided from their compatriots by language, custom, and blood. This week, Kenyans will decide on their future, with many expected to vote along tribal lines. Nairobi, Kenya's capital. Built by the British as a staging post to East Africa's highlands. At its centre, a statue to Dedan Kimathi, leader of the Mau Mau, a group drawn from Kenya's largest tribe, the Kikuyu, which sought to drive the British out of Africa in the 1950s. The group was suppressed and its leader executed. When Kenya gained its independence in 1963, there was to be little change to the status quo.
When we fought for our independence, it was actually for land and freedom. After independence, we discovered that we had won our freedom, but not the land, at least for the majority.
Koigi Wamwere, an assistant minister and long-term advocate of land reform, was himself the son of landless forest workers.
Our dream was that after independence, we would get land and therefore probably get out of the kind of colonial employment that had enslaved us for so long. So I always dreamt of the day when my parents would be on their own land, and that never happened.
For many, ridding themselves of the British meant replacing one landowning class with another.
People who have been presidents, who have been permanent secretaries, who have been anything that you can call anybody. They also have huge tracts of land, and it really kind of looks like obscene that you can have so much, so few people owning so much land when millions are going hungry.
Kurasoi, on the western edge of the Rift Valley, part of what was once Kenya's White Highlands, where Europeans took advantage of the fertile soil, carving farms out of the primeval forest. The white farms are long gone, and yet the problems remain. The area is now predominantly inhabited by members of the Kalenjin tribe, but the sleepy town of Mungetho, in the heart of Kurasoi, is a Kikuyu enclave. In the last 2 months, 27 people have been killed, and more than 10,000 made homeless in tribal clashes.
There's a grudge, there's a bad feeling. The late President Jomo Kenyatta allocated and encouraged settlement of the Kikuyu in particular in that area. Traditionally it had been an area that was largely non-Kikuyu.
Dr. Richard Leakey, a white Kenyan, former MP and veteran campaigner for political rights under the previous Moi government.
Under the Moi regime, there was a serious attempt to try and remove those people once and for all and let the Kalenjin people of that area have the access to that very rich land and the access to part of the grain basket of Kenya. And that was resisted.
The unrest in Kurasoi typifies the ethnic tensions emerging across the country.
Many people continue to think that the reason why they are landless in their own place is because there are Kenyans from elsewhere who have gone there, bought land and settled on it. And they think that the way to get land is actually by evicting those so-called foreigners. Politicians have played this up because it is an easy vote getter, and so this is what has been the cause of clashes in Kurusoi that are going on even as we talk.
Samuel Mugusu, one of Kurusoi's settlers, had moved to the area with his wife and family 17 years ago. He got on well with his Kalenjin neighbours and had never worried about the isolation of his farm. But 3 days before, this peaceful coexistence had been shattered.
So this is where now we have lived in for over 15 years. I heard the cry. It was Kalenjin. Then I feared. They were making a sort of sound of war. They had already broken the grills of that window over there. They came in, flashed over there, they opened the door. So there were so many inside. They came with grass, this grass down here. They had lit a fire. Then they threw the fire through there. Then they said, here he is. They started to shoot arrows through this small opening here. Now, the arrows were coming in as rain, drops of rain. It came in. Then I saw, these are arrows that shot me here. Then I saw they are finishing me.
Samuel blames the violence on the upcoming election, which is aggravating tribal differences.
If they can move away these others, then it will be easy for them to go through the election, so that the man that they want or whoever can go through.
For Samuel, nothing remains from a lifetime of hard work.
Well, I'm disheartened. You know, you feel like tears coming out, because whatever was here, you know, I'm now left without. And even the shirt, whatever I'm wearing, I've been given by friends. There was nothing that I took out of this house. I feel disheartened, but then what do I do?
We went to meet one of Samuel's Kalenjin neighbours, but the night before he too had been attacked, this time by the Kikuyus. Jeffrey Beat from the next door farm was woken by the screams and saw the fire lighting up the sky.
Yeah, it was about the Kikuyus just come here. They kill, then they disappeared. The reason why they did that was to revenge for their tribe, Kikuyus, the other Kikuyus who are being attacked there. We are Kalenjin, they are Kikuyus. Reuben tried to escape, and on the way, trying to escape, he was being shot by gun. In that process, the Kikuyus come and cut him to death, hack with using swords, hacking. The mother and the daughters and the grandchildren are being found here. They were killed there. Hacked, totally hacked to death. The young one, he was about 1 year, was being hacked just here, just the head to be to death immediately. He shot him using a bullet.
Reuben's blood was still clearly visible, soaking the rich red earth where he fell.
So after Reuben fell down, they used a squad. They hack him to death. Again, they used a squad to kill him. You can see the blood stains. You can see where the incident happened.
According to his neighbour, Reuben's murder was politically motivated. a settling of scores ahead of the election.
I cannot say, I don't have a genuine reason why they did this. Because if you find here, if everybody here, it's not, this area is not a congested area. This area, even if you have seen that, everybody here has a very big farm, big land, you see. Everybody has his or her cattle. There is sufficient supply of water, food enough, you see now. So there is no genuine, I think the genuine reason is that I want to say, I'm not sure, but politics. The president who is here now, he said that everything will be in control. There will be no clashes. And then it happens. There's two ways. There can be peace. And again, it can be worse. There can be a tribal clash. It can be worse from which is now here.
Security forces have now flooded the area, but the violence hasn't stopped. On the surface, Kurasoi seems peaceful, but only because people are too scared to leave their homes and work the fields. For many, the attraction of the fertile land has been outweighed by the dangers to their families and themselves, leaving them with no choice but to abandon their homes.